You know, sometimes when I'm listening to this little theme for this menu, I have to do that. I don't know. It's like it's such a simple tune, and it's really catchy, and I just find myself vibing the hell out to it sometimes. So now that I've effectively wasted 30 seconds of this video, we can get down to real business. So, what's going on, everybody? Your host, AMF1534 here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo, the ultimate driving and vibing the hell out simulator. Sorry. I woke up this morning with a sore throat, and I really hope that shit goes away soon, because I'm not trying to waste my next 2 days off by being sick as a dog. So, we started up a brand new championship series last time. We took our vanilla-ass RT10 into a sea of race cars, which I think may have been a terrible, horrible mistake. I mean, I know that DB7 Volante down there has, like, the weight of a dying sun over there, but, you know, I don't think that it's really going to be a smart idea for us to be taking this car into this competition, because I know what types of races we're probably going to get into with this. We're probably going to be doing, like, Grand Valley, and more than likely the 5th race in here is going to be Special Stage R11. So I really think that to be smart with this, I should probably quit this championship and at least go tweak my car so that it's actually, like, acceptable to drive in this thing, so that we don't lose and have to go back and do it again, because I really don't want to put anybody through that, nor do I want to have to actually, you know, spend the, like, 4 collective episodes going all the way back through it again. So, and we'll do something that we've not done to this point in this game, is that we'll actually fully mod out a car. Yeah! We're gonna be a man! We're gonna put the shit under the hood and everywhere else! Because that's what manly men are supposed to do. I think they made like a Dial soap commercial. Was that the one that had the tune, the Man, 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 the manly, manly men? That whole thing. Dial for men. Yes, I am. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go through here. We're going to get all the little things that we don't have so far, so that it'll make our car way easier to control, and it'll vastly increase, like, the handling, the acceleration. I'm not going to do another NA tune-up for this thing, because it's really not necessary right now, I'm pretty sure. Sorry about that. So we'll just get everything. I mean, it's gonna cost a fair amount of cash anyways for this, so don't worry. It's gonna be a doozy, but it's okay. I mean, this is something that we should have done before going into this. I mean, I kind of got a little bit all like, oh my god, my car's got more horsepower. That means I'm gonna win. Hoo-hoo. And I didn't really think about how, like, ill-advised and stupid of an idea that was. Like, just because my car's got more horsepower doesn't mean that it's a smart idea to just go, you know, taking it into something where all the cars are, like, modded for racing. And so, you know, we're gonna do this the right way. I mean, we're probably going to want to do the qualifier laps for this now, just because of how much money I'm spending on this. I mean, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for us to get a lot of money, but it might be worth our while, at least to try it on the trial mountain race, to see if, you know, with all of these improvements, that we can actually, you know, maybe get the pole position out of it. That's what I'm hoping for. So, this thing's going to look sexy. It is going to be a lovely looking vehicle here in a minute, after we've spent just an insane amount of money. Hopefully that Stage 3 weight reduction will really take a lot of weight off, because I mean, even with the Stage 2 one, we were still sitting at 2,600 pounds, man. That's a lot. Ooh, I kind of like that, actually. Oh, I love that way more. That's way better looking. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's do it. God, we're down to 315,000. This better be worth it, man. I'm sure it probably will be, though. There's no way that this doesn't improve our chances of winning at least like 3- or 4-fold. I mean, there's so much to be said about having a car that's actually designed for racing rather than a car that can race. So we'll just see what we're looking at here. Let's go take it in here. Oh, wow, dude, it's only 2,100 pounds now, man. We took a lot. They just took a whole bunch of extra shit out of there and threw it in the trash, you know? But the DB7 Volante definitely did not get that TPS report yet. He's just like, fuck it. I'm going with the big stuff. I'm going to be an independent man, and I'm just going to go with the heavy things, even though it's obviously not a smart idea. The only other guy in this roster that had a heavy car, he decided to take them all out because he's smart. Oh, wow. Oh, man, our acceleration's way better already. I can already see it right out the gate. Oh, this is great. Well, let's just see how this thing handles. I need to have better luck with cars today in order for things to pan out. You know, I've actually, in the last 24 hours, I have not had good juju with cars. It was all sorts of bad. So, I drove to work yesterday. I had to open, and so, you know, I wake up and I'm just like, ah, fuck, I slept through both of my alarms again. This is not good, man. So I jet off to work, and I had to pound down an energy drink because otherwise I would have been just like completely like not coherent to the entire world for like about an hour and a half or so. Which, when you got customers, you got to be able to help those fools. You can't just be like, oh, forget it, I'll be with you in a while. I'm too busy not being awake because I was busy eating Cheetos in my bed, So, everything was fine, and then it hits me at about, I don't know, probably like 11:30 or noon. I was like, oh my god, I gotta go put my check in the bank because I got like insurance to pay, and I've got fucking my phone bill coming up here pretty quick, and I got some other things that I was gonna look into. All right, was this worth it? I feel like we did a pretty good job there, minus like one or two turns that could have been better. Oh yeah, oh good. We're gonna be able to make some money back in this thing. We kind of need it. We spent a lot of money, like silently. I was just like going in there, like, just give me the whole thing. It's like when you win the lottery and you go and start getting all decked out with like clothes and all and you're getting like all the 3-piece suits and everything, and they're just like, yeah, do you want this, and do you want this, and do you want this? It costs a lot extra, and you're just like, fuck it, let's go. I don't care. I've got millions of dollars. It's kind of like what we had going on there. But yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go over to the bank real quick, and we're gonna check this out because I need to go get all that stuff going. And I look at my car, and I was just like, you know what? Something doesn't look right out there. My car seemed like it was just kind of sitting a little bit funny, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. And so I walk up closer to it, and that's when it really hits me that my back right tire, dude, that thing was like flatter than a 12-year-old's tits, man. That thing was, dude, there was like no air in that tire at all. It was, and I'm just like, whoa, hold on a minute. Like, when the hell did this happen? Like, has it been flat like this all morning? Because, I mean, I was driving pretty recklessly on the way here. I mean, I could have, like, one false move and I would have been knee-deep in the shit with that. Like, it's very nice that the driving gods really took some pity on me, because they could have really had a field day with that. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what happened, though, because I don't remember running over anything, and I mean, it didn't feel necessarily like, like I had a flat tire, because normally, like, when you're driving with a flat, especially one that flat, you totally know, like, it's definitely noticeable. Maybe I was just too tired, but I'll bet that's like the perfect scenario if there were a driving god, because they really had lots of cars back then. But if there were a driving god, that'd be like the perfect scenario for him to be like sitting around the TV watching this thing unfold with like him and all of his buds, and they're like sipping on some heaven brews, and they're just like, and they're all just sitting there laughing like a bunch of school children, like, oh boy, he doesn't realize how freaking flat that tire is. Why, you just watch this. I'm going to throw a couple of wood screws and some pebbles in there, and boy, oh man, he's really going to be going for a ride. And he doesn't even notice it. What a fucking idiot. Oh, you just wait. He's gonna run over something. I'm going to have that thing just pop out like a good old fucking popcorn kernel, and then we'll see how he feels. But I didn't actually, I've never actually, like, blown out a tire where the whole thing just goes, and it's just like, wow, 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 and you got, like, shards of your tire flying around all over the place. I've not done that yet, but I have had tires just like go flat while I'm out driving before, and that kind of sucked. So, but I still didn't really know what the scenario was here. So I was like, all right, well, there's definitely like a gas station like a block or two away. So I'll just kind of gimp this fucking thing in over there, and we'll go put some air in it, and then I'll keep an eye on it. So I kind of just coast this thing into the gas station, and by the way, we are just murdering fools right now. This was such a smart idea. Like, this is what I should have done the first time around, but hey, better late than never, you know? So, here we go. Oh, there we go. So I got it over there, and I ended up, you know, parking it, and I got some quarters out, because it's like, you know, it's one of those, like, weird coin-operated, like, air filler machines with the weird tire gauge that's built into the side with that floppy-ass tube that just looks kind of like a dick a little bit. So I put it in there, and I just wanted to check and see how much air pressure I actually had in that tire for starters. I put the thing in there and measured it, and it was totally like 11 or 12 pounds. It's like not even close to even being half full. Like when that thing is like filled properly, that thing's usually at like 38 or 40 pounds. So that wasn't even halfway there. I was like, you know, just like maybe like a third of the way there. Dude, it was terrible. And then I looked at my front right tire, and that one was like halfway flat too. I'm just like, God, what the hell is going on here? I kind of, you know, took a quick look at it. I didn't see any nails or anything in there, and so I filled them back up to where they looked fine, and I drove back to work, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep an eye on this. And between the time I did that and by the time I got off work about 5 hours later, dude, that thing was like almost all the way back down again. So I guess that either A, that tire was just really old and maybe it was just, you know, starting to split in some place or something, or maybe I did run over some nails or like wood screws or something, because there are people like right next door to where I work. We got a new tenant coming in, and so they've been out there, you know, having all the doors open, using all their fucking power tools, and you can hear them just nailing shit into the walls all the time. So knowing them, they're probably like, oh, well, look at this fucking nail. I don't need that one. They're just like throwing it out the back door because they're like, I'm not responsible for this shit. Why not? I'll do whatever I want to do. Fuck it, I'm getting paid by the hour for this. And more than likely, I probably ran over one of those without even knowing it, which, I mean, it's kind of stupid, but what do you do? So now, unfortunately, I don't even know what the hell my tire looks like at this point. They're probably both flat as shit, so I'm probably gonna have to call my dad and have him take me over to like the used tire spot, so I can go get a couple of replacements. So that'll be fun. I'll get to buy 2 replacement tires, and then I'll get a phone bill and insurance to play around with. Hooray! Thank God I got my paycheck, man. Oh, hooray! My meager restitution. So, yeah, dude, I think we're really gonna come out with with first place on every one of these races. I mean, unless something catastrophic happens, I think we're gonna be in pretty good shape. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, I'm sure you guys have noticed, obviously, that my handling has really taken a turn for the positive here, but just like trying to explain how much better this feels, we're probably not going to get pole position on this one. I've been really floating around pretty bad right there. I can probably still get like 2nd or 3rd though. Like, it feels like a night and day difference, man. It is incredible how much better this car handles after putting all those upgrades in it. It is insane. We may actually get 6th place. That back section of that was really bad. It was really bad. I kind of got a little bit full of myself there. Well, what do you do? Maybe just my top end power at the end will fix the problem of my terrible cornering in that one area. Probably not though. What do we got? Yeah. I mean, we were actually still close there. With all that shit, we actually still almost pulled it off. That's funny. Okay, well, let's start the race. We can do this race. I didn't film last night. I was having some issues here, and so you guys deserve a longer episode today. You do. You earned it. You earned it. Oh, everybody in the stands, you're in for a real doozy today. You're going to witness a raping, but not one where, like, you know, people are left, you know, having a general sadness inside for the rest of their entire lives, because that's really fucked up. But we're going to do it in terms of one car raping 5 cars. Because, you know, cars don't really have emotions as far as I'm aware, so I think it's okay for them to get raped. I mean, unless we're going to have, you know, we're going to have a bunch of activists holding up pictures of, you know, white paper with really terribly chicken-scratched words written on there saying hashtag all cars matter, you know, or car lives matter. So, yeah, we'll just see what happens out of that. If I end up seeing that, then I'll know that I've done something wrong. But, yeah, we're going to be okay. We're going to be alright. We're going to win. Oh, I was going to tell you guys about this. Okay, this is actually really cool. And it's actually not really going to give anything away either, so for those of you that are, like, really sticklers on, like, you know, not hearing spoilers, well, you're not actually going to hear any spoilers with this, but we'll talk about it real quick. So, I love fan theories, man. I love hearing, just, like, you know, some fan fiction type, not necessarily fan fiction, but just, like, hearing, like, theories on, like, what people think happened in, like, certain, like, TV shows and movies. Like, I've seen a whole bunch of them, like, I like hearing, like, the theories of, like, what people thought would, like, really happened in shows. Like, I told you guys a long time ago about, like the fan theories about, like, how in, like, the Rugrats show, like, all the babies were dead and they're all just, like, a figment of Angelica's imagination, or people thinking that, like, Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead were in the same universe because of, like, a few visual cues that really made it seem like they were in, like, the same area. Or even just, like, you know, like, fan fiction things about, like, Harry Potter, where, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this one, then simply plug your ears and go, la 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 la, there's a killer in the room. Where people were thinking that there were, like, two chosen ones, where it was Harry and Neville. They were, like, both the one, like, actually, the game theory guys, they were actually the ones that did that theory. So that one's actually a really interesting one if you want to go and check that one out. Just go see. I think it's one of the first, like, film theory ones that were out there. So check that out. But this is one that I just read about it like 2 or 3 days ago, and I remember, like, it was somebody posted on Facebook, and so I was really skeptical about it when I saw it up front. I was like, I don't know. Like, when I read the little blurb about it, I was like, well, I mean, alright, whatever. It seemed, like, marginally believable, but it seemed kind of just, like, an easy way out. But then when I actually read into it a little bit, I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of truth to that. That's actually, like, one of the more believable ones I've heard, period, out of all these. And so the theory itself is pretty much everything, like, all of the negative stuff, like, the entire series was perpetuated by Skylar. Like, she's the one that caused everything to happen because of her chronic smoking problem. And I know, just, like, hearing that up front, that just sounds like, oh, well, you know, it just sounds like people hating on her, which, I mean, she was definitely kind of sort of, like, the kind of the easy character to pawn off your aggressions on, because for the better part of the first couple seasons, and even parts of the later ones, like, she's just kind of a bitch, you know? She's just kind of an asshole, and so it's kind of easy to be like, well, everything's her fault because she's a bitch, you know, and just because it makes you feel better about it. But the reason why it totally makes sense is her chronic smoking problem is what caused Walt's lung cancer, which makes sense because she gets really defensive about that. Like, her reasoning for him getting lung cancer was, like, his overexposure to, you know, all the chemicals at work that he deals with. Which, I mean, that's certainly possible. It sounds like something that's believable. But, the other thing about it is, like, with the thing that makes it not believable to me and what makes sense here is that, I mean, look at how much of, like, a extremely careful, like, stickler for the rules type of guy that Walt is. Like, he would take every single precaution, even if it was the most minimal thing. I mean, you see, like, how OCD he gets about making sure that everything is proper, like, how every safety measure is taken. So it seems, like, highly unlikely, to me at least, that, and probably to a lot of, obviously the person that made this theory too, it seems highly unlikely that he would have, you know, contracted lung cancer from something like that. Like, it seems more likely that, you know, Skylar's smoking a bunch, and him being exposed to that for as long as they were married, that sounds like a more plausible idea, because he's obviously not going to be wearing a bunch of safety gear when he's hanging out with her while she's smoking. I mean, it's just it doesn't really add up. And it would also make sense that, you know, she wouldn't want to take responsibility for that, and she'd want to pawn it off on something else. So it really makes sense. And then the other part of it, and like that's why he got into the business of cooking meth anyways, because he had, you know, he had the lung cancer and he wanted to provide for his family, and then it just really spiraled out of control. And then the other part of it, and that really caught me, was that's why Walter Jr. has multiple sclerosis. It was a birth defect from her smoking while she was pregnant with him. Like we saw already in the show, that when she was pregnant with Holly, she kind of went on a smoking binge for a while, even though she knew it wasn't a smart idea. It was a terrible idea to do, but she did it anyways. And so we obviously know that she has really no problem with doing that, even though she knows it's not smart, even if she was, like, you know, crazy depressed or whatever at that point. So it makes sense, man. Like, she's the reason why her son is, you know, is all fucked up. I mean, you know, if you have MS, I don't want to make it sound like you're like fucked up and you're not like a regular person, because, I mean, it's I actually one of my best friends growing up, her mom had MS. So I mean, it's just it is a horribly debilitating disease, but I mean, you can still go on living a perfectly normal life, you know, like socially and whatnot. I mean, obviously you're going to have, if it really gets advanced, it can be quite the thorn in your side. But I mean, it's not like a developmental thing necessarily, but it makes sense that, like, you know, she caused the source of his own kind of personal misery with that, because nobody really enjoys having MS, obviously. And then she's the one that caused Walt to get into that whole thing that, I mean, that's really what the entire show was predicated off of. So basically, Skyler's the fault for everything, and it actually makes sense. So dude, that one was crazy. That was like one of the wildest things. It seems so simple, instead of it being like this crazy elaborate thing. Like it is elaborate, but it's off of just one detail that it seems so simple, but at the same time it just ends up being this wildly serious thing, dude. It's crazy. I love it. I love fan theories like that. So, with that said, I actually it raises this question, and I'll ask you guys, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. If for those of you that are really into fan theories, I know some people don't like getting into that sort of thing. So it's just like, man, they made the series this way, like just take it the way it is, you know. What is your favorite fan theory? It can be from any show. It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be the most minute thing ever. But what's your favorite fan theory? I want to hear. I'm kind of interested, because it kind of gives me not only, you know, just like hearing more theories about shows, because I love that kind of shit, but it also kind of, you know, gives me an idea of what types of shows you guys like. So I like connecting with you guys from time to time. I think it's really cool to do that. So yeah, just let me know in the comment section, or you can hit me up on Twitter, whatever it is you like to do as far as social media is concerned. It is easier for you to do it here though, just because I read the comments all the time. So. Alright guys, well, man, we are really sticking it to the man right now. I am so glad. I can't I can't emphasize enough how great of an idea it was to go back and do this. I mean, this is really the entire difference right here. So this is great. I still feel really bad for that Volante, man. He just weighs so damn much. Like, how did he not have any sort of, like, counseling in his camp there, of people telling him, man, you should probably really look into reducing the weight in this car, because it's really a bad idea, especially considering that you've got so much horsepower, man. Like, if you took the weight down in this car, you could really contend and make some serious noise here, because, I mean, he's got, he's definitely got the second lowest horsepower here, but I mean, the difference between second lowest and second highest is only 30. So if he took 800 pounds off of that car, he could definitely make a case for second place here. He really could. It's just the fact that he's not doing it. So, I mean, if you're going to be stubborn, you're going to get it. Alright guys, well, we have run out of time for this episode, so when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, we are going to head off to Grand Valley East 2 to take on the, what is this, the 4th race now? It is the 4th race now. So we'll do that, and then we'll take on Special Stage R11 And then that'll be the end of this championship series, and then we can figure out what to do from here. Because I think we're really gonna have a couple of decisions to make here, whether we do a endurance race or we just find another thing to do real quick. So, all right, guys, this is your host AMF saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.